Welcome to lecture number 46 of the series Unreal 5 for Archviz, and in this lecture we'll start working on our interactive walkthrough. So let's get started. Let's go into the content folder and I'm going to create a new folder. I'll rename this as interactive walkthrough. I'll open this folder and let's create a new folder. I'll rename this as interactive walkthrough underscore menu. I'll create another one and I'll rename this as fonts. Let's create another one and I'm gonna rename this as blueprints. I'll open this folder and let's now import the interactive walkthrough menu. Okay, so this is the interactive walkthrough menu that I designed using Adobe Illustrator. Here we have different images representing different functionalities and stuff. For example, this image represents the bedroom, this one represents the living room. These images on the right hand side represents the lights of bedroom, living room and bathroom. This one represents the TV switch, and by using this one we can turn on the bathroom faucet simulation. Okay, you can also create this interactive walkthrough by yourself. You can use Illustrator or Photoshop, but if this is the first time you're working on an interactive walkthrough, I suggest you to use this menu. You can download this menu from Patreon for free. Okay, one more thing that I like to add is that I also have these images as separate PNG files. So if you're going to create a menu by yourself, then don't forget to export these images as separate PNGs. Okay, let's now go back in Unreal and let's now import the interactive walkthrough menu. I'll select all of them and I'll open them. Let's save everything. And now I'll open my interactive walkthrough folder and let's create a widget. I'll select user widget and I'll rename this as interactive walkthrough underscore widget. Okay, let's open this widget. And here you can see the interface of this widget. We have two tabs. We have a designer tab and we have a graph editor tab. In the graph editor tab, we're going to program different blueprints for the interactive walkthrough. And in the designer tab, we'll work on the interface of the interactive walkthrough. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to adjust the screen size. I'll select this screen size option. I'll go into televisions and I'll select this preset 1980 by 1080 resolution. Yeah. Now before we bring in our interactive walkthrough menu, we need to add a canvas. Okay. So I'll go into the panels option and I'll bring in canvas panel. From now on, everything that we import inside this widget, the interactive walkthrough menu, all of the other PNGs will lie inside this canvas panel. So let's now bring in the interactive walkthrough menu. For that, what we need to do is we need to bring in an image widget. Okay. Now I'll open my content browser by pressing Ctrl and spacebar. I'll go into the interactive walkthrough folder and I'm going to bring in this interactive walkthrough menu. I'll open this brush menu. Let's open the content browser and I'll drag and drop this menu on this slot. Okay, I'll close my content browser. I'll select this image, this one. Okay, I'm gonna rename this as main menu. And now to synchronize the size of this image widget with the size of the content, we need to check this box, size to content. Let's now place this main menu inside the canvas panel. Okay, yeah, I'll lock this. Let me do one thing. Let's decrease the render opacity. I'll bring this down to 0.5. Now I'll lock this. Now what we need to do is we need to bring in all of the other images that we separately exported in PNG and place them on their positions. Okay. So first of all, I'll bring in this image, press space to edit. I'll add an image widget. I'll open my content browser and I'll drag and drop this image on this slot. I'll check this box to adjust the size of this image and let's place it on its position. Yeah, I think this is the perfect position. I'll lock this. I'll rename this image as spacebar. Let's now bring in these images. First, let's bring in this white background image. Now for this white background image, I'll add a separate canvas panel because I want to animate this white background and everything that lies inside this white background. Okay. So I'll open this panel. I'll bring in canvas panel. Let's adjust the size and position. Let's now add an image widget. I'll place this image widget inside this panel. I'll rename this canvas panel as bedroom underscore menu. I'll select this image widget and let's add this white background. Okay, I'll check this box to adjust the size. Let's change the render opacity to 0.5 and I'll put this image inside this canvas panel. Yeah, I'll rename this image as white background. Okay, let's now add these material images. Now for these material images, instead of using image widget, we'll use button, this one. Because image widgets are not clickable, buttons are clickable. And we need something clickable because we need to click on these images to change different materials. Okay, so let's now add this image on this button. I'll go into style, I'll open this normal option, and this is where we can add our image. Okay, so I'll press Ctrl and spacebar on my keyboard to open the content browser, and I'll select this material and I'll drop this material on this slot. I'll check this box to adjust the size, and let's now place this image on its position. Make sure you select image on this drop down menu. Yeah, I'm gonna rename this button as 1. Make sure this button lies inside this canvas menu. I think we need to adjust the position again. Now for this button, this much work is okay. But if you want to give just a little bit of push to your interactive walkthrough experience, you can do one more thing. Let's open this hover menu and this pressed menu. I'll press Ctrl and spacebar on my keyboard to open the content browser, and I'll drop the same image on these slots. Let's change the tint. I'll bring this all the way up and I'll press OK. Now the function of this hovered and pressed option is that when I'll hover my mouse cursor over this material, it will change the color or tint of the material. Similarly, if I'll press this button, it will change the tint or color and it will make it darker. We see this functionality a lot of time. For example, if I hover my mouse cursor over this screen size button, you can see a change of color of this text. Similarly, if I'll hover my mouse cursor over this horizontal scroll bar, we can see a change in color. So in the same way, we can use these options, hovered and press, to make our interface user friendly. Okay. Yeah. Let's now create a copy. I'll rename this button as 2. I'll place it right here on its position. Okay. And now I'll simply replace that image. In the same way, I'll duplicate this button. I'll rename this as 3. I'll place it on its position. and I'll press Ctrl and spacebar to open the content browser, and I'll replace the image. Okay. Let's do one more. I'll press Ctrl D to duplicate this button. And I'll place it on its position. And now I can replace that image with the new one. I'll select this one. I think I mistakenly pressed Ctrl Z to undo the changes. Let's create another duplicate copy. This is the last one that I'm gonna do with you. I'll time lapse the others. Okay. Let's adjust the position on X and on Y. Yeah. Let's now replace the image. Okay, so I've added all of these images. Let's save everything. Now we're gonna add these texts. For that, I'll bring in text widget. Let's change the text to floor. I'll check this box. Let's place it over here. Let's change the color to black, maybe 0.1. And if you want to change the font of this text, for that you need to add that particular font inside Unreal Engine. Okay. Let's dock this window in here. I'll open this folder of fonts and I'll import the Calibri font. I just googled them and downloaded them. Okay. Let's now open this widget, and under this fonts option, I'll select Calibri font. Let's place it on its position. I think the size of 22 will be okay, or maybe 21. Let's adjust the position. Yeah, this is okay. I think I forgot to place this text inside the canvas panel. Make sure you do this before you adjust the position, otherwise you'll have to adjust the position again. Let's duplicate this text widget, and I'll change the text to wall. I'll place it on its position. Let's create another copy. I'll change the text to bed, and let's adjust the position. Yeah, okay. Yes. Now, just like we worked on this menu, you need to work on this one as well. Or what you can also do is, you can just duplicate the entire canvas panel and rename this as bathroom menu, and adjust the position. Change this text to couch. Let's adjust the position. Okay. Similarly, I'll adjust the position of this one. And for this one as well. Yeah. Let's now replace these materials. I'll open my content browser and let's replace these materials. Okay, now I'll duplicate this canvas panel. I'll press Ctrl D on my keyboard and I'll rename this as bathroom menu. I think this one should be living room menu. I'll select this canvas panel. I'll place it maybe here. I'll delete this text and these materials. Let's place it right here. Yeah. And now I'll select this canvas panel, this one, and let's adjust the size. I'll select this image and I'll replace this image with this one. Okay. Yeah. Let's adjust the size of the canvas panel. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, okay. Let's save everything. Let's rename all of them. Now, just like we added a separate canvas panel for this menu, we'll add a separate canvas panel for these buttons as well. Okay. So let's add a canvas panel. Let's adjust the size. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let's add a button. I'll place this button under this canvas panel and I'm going to rename this canvas panel as bedroom lights. Okay. I'll select this button. Where is it? There it is. Let's open the content browser and I'll place this image on these slots. Okay. Let's select image in this drop down menu. and I'll check this box. Let's adjust the position. Yeah, I'll press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate this button. I'll replace this image with this one. Okay. Now let's create a duplicate copy of this canvas panel. I'll rename this as living room lights. Okay. There it is. Let's now adjust the position. Let's create a duplicate copy. I'm going to rename this as bathroom lights. And let's adjust the position. Yeah, okay. In the same way, you can duplicate this canvas panel and replace these buttons with these images. Okay. I'll just time lapse it. Okay, so the work on these buttons is complete. Let's now start working on these buttons. Now for these buttons, I'll add a separate canvas panel because I want to animate them separately. Okay. So let's add a canvas panel and let's adjust the size. Let's lock everything except for unlock everything except for this one. Let's add a button for this one. I'll open my content browser and I'll drag this image and I'll drop it on these slots. I'll select image on this drop down menu. And I'll check this box. And let's now adjust the position. Okay. I'll press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate this button. And let's now replace this image with this one. Let's adjust the position. Similarly, I'll duplicate this button. Let's replace the images. Yeah. I'll duplicate this image and I'll place it over this image. You can do the same thing for these buttons as well. I'll just time lapse it, okay? Now for these buttons, I'll duplicate this image. I'll simply replace this image with this one, okay? I'll do the same thing for this one as well. I'll duplicate this one. Let's adjust the position. Let's replace these images with this one. And let's find a perfect position. Yeah, okay. So yes, we have added all of these buttons. That's it for this lecture, and in the next lecture, we'll animate these buttons and these canvases, okay? So yes, I'll see you guys in the next one.